I'm back. Little bitch, what's going on? I don't know if some of y'all get offended by, me doing these, random insults. That's just how we talk where, I'm from. You know what I'm saying? We would just be like, hey, little big head ass nigga, what's going on? Don't take it personal unless, I'm coming at you that way. But, you know what I'm saying? This is Alicard, man. I'm back. I spelled my new name wrong, you know. Let me fix that. But anyway, as always, you want to make sure you get the holography book still available. You know what I'm saying? Made it to England. You know what I'm saying? So we try and do a worldwide web. You know what I'm saying? Spreading our web across the globe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get that so that you can learn how to put together all the things you know. It's not about me saying you don't know certain stuff. It's about putting together and weaving and meshing these things together as a whole. Hence fragmentality, which is, one of the major themes of my book is this fragmentality shit where people have these thoughts they sit here and can, articulate and intellectualize, but they're not putting these bits of data and information and knowledge together as a coherent whole. And that's what I'm um, basically trying, put forth for my book. You know what I'm saying? Always, because without that coherence of thinking and information and knowledge that you have, you're just like a broken mirror. Like you're useless at that point. You know what I'm saying? So when you put stuff together, when you start to tie it all together, now you have a greater perspective. You have an expanded viewpoint of the whole entire thing. Hence, like I said, that's why we deal with holography, for that purpose. You know what I'm saying? How you changing name? I forgot to put the A in my name. I'll figure it out. Hold on, let me see. Because people are trying to like, there we go, edit name. There we go. So you seen it first. I forgot to put the A in my name, say because there's a lot of people that like to nitpick and find some fault with you to, bring you down. But I'm all the way up there. So, you know what I'm saying? What you're seeing is just the base of what you know what I'm saying? There's a height to it though. But anyway, we're going to talk about something that I told you I was going to talk about in previous videos and didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think one of the reasons is because I had other topics to discuss, but another reason is because I don't know how much of y'all play video games, or I'm pretty sure you know what Mortal Kombat is. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. I don't know if you still play it or if you've heard about it in a while, but recently this month of September 2023, they put out the new installment. They called it Mortal Kombat 1. So imagine the confusion of, okay, the first game from 1992. I've been playing this shit since I was 4 years old. I don't know. See, y'all parents didn't let y'all do all that. I had a different type of parenting. Um, I've been playing this since I was 4 years old. We had it on Nintendo. So, now they're calling this game that just came out this month, Mortal Kombat 1. Let me share my screen. So, you got Liu Kang on the front, and it's just a one. It's supposed to be Mortal Kombat 12, but that I don't know. Maybe the two is coming later. We're dealing with the one, and then the two, then you combine them as 12. But like I said, I don't know how much of a fan you are of this video game franchise. I'm a big fan. I'm a fanatic. And I told y'all 4 years ago on my Instagram post, if you was around, you know, when Mortal Kombat 11 came out, don't bother me. Don't try to like leave me be when Mortal Kombat come out. Don't bother me. Don't unless you talk about buying something. Don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when it's just like Martin. You know what I'm saying? When this game come on, I don't want to hear nothing out of nobody. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me about your problems. When Mortal Kombat come out, everything else shut down, stops, comes to a breaching halt. You know what I'm saying? Or screeching, not breaching. I'm not, affiliated or anything. A screeching halt. You know what I'm saying? So, let me just enlarge my screen here. Which one will work here? But how your mom and them and your dad and them doing? How they doing? You know what I'm saying? You know how I do. Like I'll come with a slew of videos and live streams, and then go into hibernation for like a month or so, and come back. You know what I'm saying? Or a few months and come back. So I'm back. So what I want to focus on in this live stream is, the world building with the myths and the pop culture of Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm pretty sure you know this game. You played this game. I've dealt with women who love this game, so I'm pretty sure it's a part of the American culture. It's as American as apple pie. But the thing is, with apple pie, did you get the apples from America, and did you get the recipe from America? You know what I'm saying? Because with Mortal Kombat, it's all about a world building with myths from around the world. That's what I'm focusing on, because even in a video game franchise, you can find like a very rich and um, valuable mythology as you pull from other mythologies, because you think that the mythology that you may be into, like for example, Greek mythology, Egypt or Kemetic mythology, Japanese, Chinese, Incan, Mayan, Aztec mythology, you know what I'm saying? Native American mythology, African, Nigerian, Ghanaian, or even using the term cosmology, you know what I'm saying? Because that before I was heavy into cosmology. But how do you know those mythologies aren't taken from earlier and older mythologies? Because you look at Greco-Roman or just Greek mythology, you're those deities are not native to Greek. They're much older. Even with some of the names of some of those deities, like for example, you had what was it? It was like a mixture between I forgot. Hold on. Because sometimes, like with the Greek thing, they'll combine names from Egypt and Greek together. You know what I'm saying? Like Jehudi Mercury or something like that, or Jehudi Hermes or something like that. Because evidently Hermes, or however you pronounce it, Hermes Mercury, which is the Greek, uh, in Greek, Greco-Roman god of writing, messaging, and all that stuff. You can tie that back to Jehudi or Tahuti or Thoth of Egyptian Kemetic mythology. So it's the same deity changing names and changing appearances throughout history. So why would Mortal Kombat be any different if it has that mythology to it? And it does. It has a very rich mythology, starting with the one being. So in the whole Mortal Kombat lore, they have what's called the one being. So that's what started out in existence, was this one entity, this one living entity, conscious sentient entity that then was split into 6 different realms. You know what I'm saying? You got your earth realm, you got your outworld, you got your nether realm, chaos realm, order realm, and I guess what's called a Denia, which is supposed to be like a heaven, I guess. And it's split off into that. So with that mythology, you just playing the sticks. You just, I got this PC controller, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Whipping people ass, making them cuss me out and fling racial slurs at me in Xbox Live and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Calling me nigger and shit like that while I'm whipping their ass in Mortal Kombat. But in a game where it's just about, you can just limit it to just fighting and beating someone's ass, with your controller or whatever, you know, why would they have this mythology surrounding, these real depthful concepts like, the one being? Because if you read my book, Wholography, that's basically what I'm talking about. Because some of you get focused, you've been trained and conditioned to focus on things being separated and fragmented, hence fragmentality. But what if I told you that there's only really one being, and all you're seeing is just a shattered pieces, appearance wise, of this one entity? Because I would even go as far as to say, that's the basis of alchemy, to be honest. So when you break down the word alchemy, is basically Arabic word for the chemistry or the chemical or the element. So why would you designate that in your Arabic language to say the element? What are you talking about? You're taking this one entity, this one thing, and you're using it to create everything that appears to be separate from it. That's what you're doing. That's the basis of alchemy, which then leads into, centuries and millennia later, you're talking about chemistry where you have this periodic table of elements. You know what I'm saying? You have your hydrogen, nitrogen, cobalt, iron, nickel, and all this stuff, you know, plutonium, don't go into these nuclear sites without the suit on. But there's really only one element. And that's an understanding you won't get if you don't look at the chemistry in that manner. But not to, veer off into chemistry because I got a video coming for that. But dealing with the one being. There's only one being. Why do you think there are multiple beings? That's how I know that you're still trapped in the illusion when you operate like that. Of course, you can be at odds with, someone, but how do you know that someone is separate from you? And this is some new agey, it's not native to new age, but this is the stuff they like to focus on. Like all things are one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ever see one of those woke white ladies? Yeah, they got the crystal necklace. You know what I'm saying? They got the Tibetan sound bowl. They got that. You ain't never see the white women like that. They be walking barefooted and shit. It's funny to me, but if that's spirituality for you, you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hating on it. But when you talk about one being, why are you seeing multiple beings if there's only one? So now you have to go back into or do some study of that. Or if they're, not even just saying being, you can say one force, one element, one cause. Truthfully, in all actuality. So now you're seeing the appearance of multiple causes, multiple forces, multiple beings. When there's only one. So who got you thinking that there's multiple ones? Because now your paradigm shifts when now you're on to something where you talk about a one being. And in this Mortal Kombat game where they rip out people's spines and burn them to death and slice them in half and eat them alive, reptile, that shit. They got this mythology that's, backing all of this stuff. So basically the game or the mythology of the game is, you have these fighters, these combatants, you know what I'm saying, that fight over the realms of existence. So you have 6 realms of existence according to the canon Mortal Kombat. You have six realms of existence, and you have these characters that fight over the realms. They fight over the conquest, or they fight to protect the realm. So if you watch the movie Mortal Kombat that came out in 1995, that movie is basically the same as the first game. It's you are seeing Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade fighting to defend their Earth realm from conquest in a tournament called Mortal Kombat, or as I like to call it, intra-dimensional kumite. What the? Let me put that in the comment section. Mortal Kombat equals intra, meaning between, dimensions, kumite. Which brings me to my next point. Oh, let me hold on. Let me show it to the screen. There we go. Intra-dimensional kumite. So for those of you that are my age or older, in my age bracket, a very classic movie named Bloodsport. So let me bring up Bloodsport right quick. And in this movie is Jean-Claude Van Damme with his unique accent, Belgian accent. He's from Belgium. It's right next to France, so I don't know why they got to be different from each other. But he basically fights in this tournament this underground tournament every 5 years. There's this underground tournament. It came out the year I was born. You know, so that's how you know I'm a Mortal Kombat fanatic. This Bloodsport movie came out when I was born in '88. So it's this secret tournament that is held every 5 years, where you get the bragging rights and you get the recognition of being the best fighter in the fucking world. You get those bragging rights, you get the money, you get the fame, the prestige for being the best fighter in the world. So you got people coming from all over the world to fight in this secret tournament. You know what I'm saying? And it's a type of tournament where if you get killed, it's part of the sport. It's blood sport. That's why it's called that. Now think about, it's this movie that was the basis for the entire Mortal Kombat franchise. So Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be in the Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat, but I don't, they never really give us a reason why he turned it down. But then, years later, he winds up in that, that subpar Street Fighter adaptation. You know what I'm saying? That came out like a few months or maybe the year before Mortal Kombat movie came out. But the basis is you're fighting in the Kumite. So the tournament in Bloodsport is called Kumite. So you're fighting in the Kumite, to be recognized as the best, martial artist in the world. It's a secret tournament. It's unsanctioned, like it's illegal. It's underground. There's a lot of movies. And a matter of fact, he kept being in movies where there was underground tournaments, because there's that movie Lionheart where he's, fighting to, save up money to save his brother's wife because he died or something like that. But yeah, so now you have these video game creators or developers. They're like, okay, well, we're going to take Kumite and we're going to make it where the people are fighting over realms or dimensions of existence. So in our situation, that would mean, if I was going to be in the Kumite, intradimensional Kumite or Mortal Kombat, hell would have its fighters, heaven would have its fighters, some other dimension would have its fighters, and we all join together and we fight for the conquest of the realms. But again, we're going back to the one being. So it's taking that mythological concept of the one being and mixing it in with martial arts. So it becomes spiritual martial arts. It's on a spiritual level, because again, you got demons in this Mortal Kombat shit. You got sorcerers, vampires, nigga, thunder gods. Raiden. You got army people like Sonya and Jax. Sonya Blade and Jax. You got what? Forearm niggas like Goro. Let me show y'all Goro. This nigga got 4 arms and 3 fingers on each arm. Goro. You got wind gods, you got fallen elder god, you got all these different types of fantastical creatures and characters and people all fighting for the conquest of these different worlds. So if I wanted to conquer the realm of hell, we talking Christianity, I would fight their best fighter in hell, and then I could, after winning the tournament 10 times, I get to take over hell or heaven. After you want to scrap at this intradimensional Kumite. So which one of y'all want to join me in Kumite? You want to fight me in Kumite? I mean, I don't know you offline, or this is some online shit, and in real life, I don't know if you could fight. So a lot of people that be on these social media apps acting like they can fight. You know what I'm saying? Because they can type up some insults and type up some disparaging and offensive comments, but I don't know if they can scrap in real life. See, I'm actually someone who studies kung fu, and I've been studying it for we're going on 7 years of kung fu. Not to say that automatically makes me the winner in a match with you. You know what I'm saying? It just means that if you're going to come at me physically like that, be prepared for some surprises. You know what I mean? because I'm into martial arts, not even just with no Mortal Kombat, just even UFC, Bruce Lee, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, Bruce Lee is the inspiration, as a lot of you know, for, the Mortal Kombat's reigning champion for the most part, Liu Kang. They got dead Liu Kang. So there's a storyline in the game, Mortal Kombat games, where Liu Kang comes back as a zombie. It's some crazy shit. It's some wild shit. So basically, Liu Kang is Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? We know that because he'd be like, "What up?" What he do is a bicycle kick. You know what I'm saying? Whoa! So he basically Luke, he's Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? So think about just the mythology that surrounds Bruce Lee himself, and Liu Kang isn't the only, um, he isn't the only Bruce Lee, clone or Bruce Lee inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Or Bruce Lee product. Because I know in Tekken, like some of y'all that was into Tekken, I was into Tekken too. When back in the '90s, heavy into Tekken. You got your Marshall and Forrest Law. You know what I mean? I know I forgot the name for the Bruce Lee that they have in Street Fighter. You can put that in the comments. But yeah, a lot of these fighting games have some sort of Bruce Lee, you know, spinoff or clone or something like that. But the most famous one, obviously, is Liu Kang. You know what I mean? So Liu Kang is, a reigning champion in this intradimensional kumite known as Mortal Kombat. So even taking the mythology of Bruce Lee and putting it into this video game, because again, who's the greatest martial artist of all time? Bruce, you're gonna put Bruce Lee up at the top of that. He is martial arts. There's no more famous martial artist than Bruce Lee. Name me a more famous martial artist. Of course, you got your Jackie Chan's, your Donnie Yen, your Jet Li, which are later down the line. But Bruce Lee is damn near the icon of martial arts itself. You know what I'm saying? And what's the main feature about Bruce Lee? What's the main thing that surrounds him at every juncture, at every point about him? Dragon. Dragons. Long. In Chinese, long or long. Dragon. Matter of fact, let's bring that up. Because now the mythology thickens, doesn't it? Hold on, I spelled that wrong. Hold on. Now, if you study the mythology of dragons, you'll understand that every culture around the world has some form of dragon. May not call it dragon, but it's a dragon for sure, or some sort of serpent that the dragon is usually, fashioned after. Or, it looks like it's a snake. You know what I'm saying? It has a body of one, at least. So that dragon is especially when you go into Eastern cultures like China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, you know what I'm saying? The dragon is damn near the, most revered fucking creature out there. You know what I'm saying? A dragon. And Bruce Lee is damn near associated with one. They even got movies where it's, dragon is in the title. Bam. Dragon, a Bruce Lee story. You know what I'm saying? So he's synonymous with that. So now when you go, let's go to Mortal Kombat again. So we first see this in Mortal Kombat 2 that came out in 1994. Arguably the best game in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Liu Kang turns into a dragon and he bites your upper body off. You know about fatalities. Mortal Kombat is the reason why there is a games rating system. So if you ever bought a video game or you bought a game for your son or for somebody else, they got the rating at the bottom corner of the game that tells you if it's for teens, if it's, if it's for preteens, or if it's a mature shit, you know what I'm saying? That's Mortal Kombat. That was the main game that was sitting here being debated about in, in Washington D.C. in the government. They was trying to ban this shit forever. And they just settled on, just making sure games going forward has that ESRB rating on it, for parents that, you don't want to buy this game for little Caleb, you know what I'm saying, if it got blood, guts, and, death and murder in it, you know what I'm saying? But again, I was 4 years old playing this shit. So, it's all good. You know what I mean? I turned out to be a pretty nice, decent guy. You know what I mean? I ain't in no trouble or nothing like that. So he basically turns into a dragon, and the games after that in the Mortal Kombat franchise, he still turns into this dragon. Even the game that just came out, dragons, dragon. But the importance of this is because we're dealing with mythology. So dragon, you know what I'm saying, especially in Chinese mythology, it's this benevolent, creature that can control the weather and the seas and the water and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be embodiment of good fortune. So if you see a dragon in the sky, that's supposed to be, a sign of good fortune in your life. But we talk about mythology here because now you're building your own mythology based on this stuff. Even like somebody like Raiden, for example. Raiden is another popular Mortal Kombat character. This motherfucker right here, Raiden. They even got what's his name? Highlander Raiden. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're a fan of Highlander, there could be only one. They got the Christopher Lambert as the Highlander Raiden. They even got Dark Raiden if you want to have him evil and shit. You know what I mean? Now, if you look at Raiden, that name, Raiden is the name of the Japanese thunder god. So let's look at that. Oh, let me make another one. And you'll notice that the Japanese Raiden looks nothing like, the Raiden from Mortal Kombat. The Raiden from Mortal Kombat looks, it looks Anglo-Saxon. While this one looks more like a demon. This is the thunder god. Or, sometimes called Raijin or Raijin. You know what I'm saying? They even got Fujin. So Fujin is also a character in Mortal Kombat. He's the god of wind in Mortal Kombat. But these motherfuckers are like demons. Do you see where I'm going with this shit? So now we have a Chinese dragon. We have a Japanese thunder god that looks like a white man. You know what I'm saying? So now you're starting to see this hodgepodge or this amalgamation or this miscegenation or this melting pot of different mythologies from around the world. Yeah, I even give you a even more recent character that they added to Mortal Kombat, Kotal Khan. They even got Aztec in here. See how Aztec comes right up? Their Aztec character in Mortal Kombat. So now you got Chinese, Japanese, Aztec. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different type of cultural, deities and looks and all this stuff all in this one Mortal Kombat game. So, if you're out there and you're, Mexican or you're from Central America, this your man's right here. You know what I'm saying? Kotal Khan. A little slow for me when I try to fight with him in the game, but I like the character. You know what I'm saying? But even mythology is not enough to come up with the whole entire Mortal Kombat. Another element to the whole Mortal Kombat mythos is 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s pop culture. So remember when I said or talked about Bloodsport? Hold on. So just by looking at Jean-Claude Van Damme, who do you think he inspired in Mortal Kombat? Just look at him. Just look at the shorts. Look at the. I guess this is sash. Just look at him. Look who you think he inspired in Mortal Kombat. Even look at his initials. This is the first two initials: Jean Claude, JC. Who do you think he inspired? I'll give you a good guess. He does the nut punch. He does the move where he punches, the opponent in the nuts. And I guess if it's a woman, she get punched in the clit. I don't know. I don't know if he's that accurate to punch a woman in her clitoris. You know what I'm saying? But hey, she wanted to be in Mortal Kombat. You can't be sitting here crying, oh, he's being misogynistic. No, you signed up for the Kumite. You signed up for Mortal Kombat. Anything goes. This is a game where they rip spines out of necks. You know what I'm saying? They set you on fire. They use their swords to slice you into itty bitty pieces. Do you know what Melina does in the new Mortal Kombat game? She rips your head open, eats your brains out, eats your face, and then lick her fingers like it's all right. That's Melina. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you would know who Melina is, but if you know Mortal Kombat, you know Melina. She's a savage. Give up? Okay. This guy, the movie star, Johnny Cage. There's so many different renditions of him. Goddamn. This is over the span of 30 years. Mortal Kombat has been out for 30 years. Still going strong. Got his own action figure. So, Johnny Cage, he's like the comic relief of the Mortal Kombat franchise or whatever, or the mythology. Said Black Lightning was once called Raging by Katana and DC Comics. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. That's good to know. I like that. But getting back to this, he's the movie star. Jean-Claude Van Damme. So the creators of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon, John Tobias, and the rest of the team, they were originally going to create a fighting game around Jean-Claude Van Damme. But Jean-Claude, I guess he didn't want to do it, or I guess they wasn't paying up enough money. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about Midway, which was the company that created Mortal Kombat. Some nice shorts. Ooh, nice shorts. This is the type of shorts you wear, they're for fighting, and when you're about to be in the bedroom with your lady friend, she get to take them off, and that's that. But yeah, so Jean-Claude didn't do it. He didn't do the, he didn't do it. He didn't do the game. So they said, well, we're going to keep that Jean-Claude image with Johnny Cage. So you got him, punching Goro in the nuts. He also does it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Stomp and punch him in the nuts. Nut punch. Here's the actor that plays Johnny Cage in the movie. So what they wanted to do was take Jean-Claude Van Damme and, use his image in the game. So they do this thing called sprites where they take, pictures of you with a camera, and they use those different pictures to animate and make the character move in the game. So every time you press a button, that's an animation, right? Or when you see the Mortal Kombat screen, it's an animation, like right here. It was supposed to be based around Jean-Claude. You can tell that this looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport. So that's a whole nother element to Mortal Kombat, is that they're pulling from pop culture, movies. Now, okay, so we got Bloodsport. What's another movie that Mortal Kombat is based around? This is the other main one. Now, notice how when I typed that, guess who came up? Hold on. He came up when I started typing him. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, let me retype it so it can show up. Oh, I guess it ain't pop up. I saw it. You ain't have to see it. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Big Trouble in Little China. This is another 80s, cult classic movie. You know what I'm saying? You got Lo Pan, which is also supposed to be one of the inspirations for Shang Tsung, who's one of the main villains of Mortal Kombat. But let me show you something. Let me learn ya. These motherfuckers right here. This is the inspiration for Raiden's image, his look. So let me put up here Raiden. So this, you see the hat and you see the electricity. This is the inspiration for Raiden. When he said the archetypes of law from Tekken, Liu Kang. Yeah, see, you came late, so you got to get in here when I start the live, because I already talked about how Liu Kang, you know, are all in these games. Hold on, you said the archetypes of law from Tekken, Liu Kang, and Ryu from Street Fighter remind me of Jean-Claude in those movies. Oh well, I'm saying that what I said before was that a lot of these fighting games have some rendition of Liu Kang in them. You got Law from Tekken. I forgot what the guy is from Street Fighter that's supposed to be another Bruce Lee. But a lot of these fighting games have a Bruce Lee clone in it. You know what I'm saying? With Liu Kang being the most famous out of them. But this is where you get your rating from this. Here, let me find a GIF. Hold on. So he's doing, you know what I'm saying? The forms, you know what I mean? This is where you get your rating from this movie, John Carpenter movie, which bombed at the box office, but it became a cult classic over time. He said Tony Jaa got Bruce Lee any day. I mean, that's arguable. I'm not going to disagree with that. It's different times. You know what I mean? Because now times are, it's more of a faster fight. You know what I'm saying? And Tony Jaa is supposed to be, he's Muay Thai, right? But anyway, so you got this fighting game franchise where they're drawing from movies, pop culture, mythology, right? So this is definitely saying Shang Tsung. The fact that he's old in the movie, and not to spoil it, but he's old, and then when he I guess takes some spirits or whatever, he becomes a young man again. David Lopan. See, they even spell it out for your ass. Shang Tsung, Raiden. I guess that's another version of Liu Kang, or you can say that inspired Liu Kang. You know, Kurt Russell as Johnny Cage. We wondering when the skin is going to come in the game, and then you got your Fujin, which is the Wind God, Raiden's little brother, I think. So this definitely looks like this Shang Tsung from the first Mortal Kombat. See, the people already then made the comparisons already. Already made the comparisons. What's another popular movie that they took from for Mortal Kombat? A lot of people don't realize it sometimes. Terminator 2. In fact, the I forgot what was it Midway? Midway, the company that made Mortal Kombat, a game that came out previously to Mortal Kombat was the Terminator 2. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so Midway, before they came out with Mortal Kombat, they came out with Terminator 2 Judgment Day game. So this is the game they came out with right before Mortal Kombat. Because this arcade was one of the most popular arcades. This is probably still around in some of your arcade, wherever you have arcades at. They probably still have this T2 Judgment Day arcade game there. But you'll notice something about this picture. Does it look familiar? It's just he has one red eye. Does he remind you of some other Mortal Kombat character that you know about? Here, this will give you even more of a clue. Who you think he inspired in Mortal Kombat? They even took from Terminator 2 to add to their Mortal Kombat mythos. So you see, you got the one bionic red eye. So he was basically inspired by that Terminator picture that I just showed you. Here, I even, like I said, you can even type this stuff. There's people that already made the connections. Okay, they bringing up this Mortal Kombat 11 shit. But you can see what you can see that, right? He has the one bionic eye, just like some of the promotional material for Terminator 2. That's where they got the idea from. They also got the idea here. Let me show you something. Who do you think that is inspired? Who do you think inspired or was inspired by this? Here, I let you know. Because a lot of women that, I know that, like Mortal Kombat, they love playing with Sonya Blade. So this is where you got Sonya Blade from. You got it from this Sarah Connor. They even got the, Sarah, Sonya, Sarah, Sonya, Sonya, Sarah. So you took the Terminator Android and you took Sarah Connor and you came up with Kano and um Sonya Blade. So you see in Mortal Kombat, it's sitting here taking movies, mythology, pop culture of that time, and then mixing it into its own mythology. That's what this video is about. So the point is, if they can do it, why can't you? Why can't you make your own mythology out of this shit? And Sonya with the breastises, woo! You probably think I'm a little weird for having crushes on, video game women. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I was a kid. You know what I mean? You wouldn't smash that? Tell me you wouldn't smash that. I'd smash that and flatten it. And you got some of the people that acted, because the early Mortal Kombat games is where you had these actors who, pretty much gave up their image, you know what I'm saying, signed off on a waiver for their image to be in the Mortal Kombat game. So for Mortal Kombat 3, you had this actress, Carrie Hoskins. She became she became Sonya Blade. So now you got a lot of these actors in these video games that today they can still keep making money by going to these conventions or these comic cons where people are fans of them. You know what I'm saying? You can make a business out of that. Yeah, she Anglo-Saxon white, but look at her. You ain't smashing that? You got Mortal Kombat, the original game Sonya. You got Mortal Kombat 3 Sonya, and you got Mortal Kombat the movie Sonya. Nigga, that's like an interdimensional timeline foursome if you're involved. You know what I'm saying? That's a foursome right there. I see a foursome with that. You know what a foursome is? It says funny because Kano got more and more cybernetic upgrades as time went on. Yeah, so he was basically the he was inspired by the Terminator. And if you know anything about the story of Sonya, I'll type it up. It's Sonya. Sonya and Kano got beef. They beef across these games. They always beefing. See, even in the movie. because he killed her, a partner, and she's in the military, she's in special forces, so you know, and Kano in this game, he's a Black Dragon leader, like he's part of like this big ass criminal organization. So she hunts him, he kills her partner, and now they always beef it in all the games and movies. But I guess I don't know. She probably starts to come to love. You know how a woman hates your guts at first, and then that hate turns into passion. You know what I mean? Love hate relationship. You know what I mean? Got a few of those in my pocket. I ain't gonna tell you no more details about it, but it's all good in the hood. They love you one day, they hate you that night. You know what I'm saying? They love you in the morning, they hate you that night. That's how love goes. You know what I mean? Now, as the series goes on, what else is inspiring to Mortal Kombat? Predator. This movie came. Notice these movies are movies that coming out in the 80s and early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think was inspired by Predator? So, the cybernetic robot ninjas that were introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. They even, in Predator, the first Predator movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger, again, he was in Terminator. When he defeats the Predator starts doing this code on his arm. You know what I'm saying? And that's a self-destruct bomb. Cyrax does the same shit. His fatality or finishing move. Let me explain fatalities and finishing moves. So the one thing that made Mortal Kombat more popular than Street Fighter when it came out is that it had this thing called a fatality or a finishing move. So after you defeat your opponent in 2 rounds, you get to perform a fatality. So let me show you Cyrax's fatality. Let me see if they got a GIF. I'm looking for a GIF. Hold on. Hold on. No, that's a fan made one. I'm looking for the original. There we go. No, 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 that's not the original. Oh, what is the originals? They got these fan made ones. There we go. Self destruct. So he blow himself up with you. So he don't care about his life. He's just you know, a brainless, cybernetic ninja that does whatever he's programmed to do. You know what I mean? But my favorite Cyrex finisher is this one, where he turns into a helicopter, get to the chopper. He does that on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You said I'm starting to think there's a strong connection to Mortal Kombat GI Joe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe could be. So they're even taken from movies like Predator. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I gotta show you Sector. Sector is the red one. He's the monster. He's a seek and destroy bot. He does shit like that. He even, what I'm saying, he'll set you on fire too. You know what I'm saying? Some similar to the Scorpion one. But the point is, it's drawing from these movies, these popular pop culture movies. You know what I mean? To make its mythology. So these are tropes. You know, these are tropes that go beyond just the movie. It's not limited to the movie. Hold on. Even the little dreads that they got in the back of they gave these robots dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? You ever see the robot with dreadlocks? Like, where'd you get that idea from? You had to have gotten it from Predator. The first robot with dreadlocks. And for those of you that you don't know the story, Cyrax is a black man. Because there's a little bit of black characters in Mortal Kombat. As much as I love it, I see a little, some of the little racist stuff, or some of the they don't show us enough love in this shit. I wish they did, but you know, it's just like those women who still don't give up Paula Deen when she came out and said nigger, but they still love Paula Deen. They still be making them buttery biscuits. She said nigger. She had black men dressed up as, slaves at her party, but you still love Paula Deen, right? Niggas still wear Tommy Hilfiger, and he came out and said, I don't want niggas wearing, my clothes. So, it's all good in the hood. You can like the product and not like, the creator. You know what I'm saying? He's just a vessel for things. They put some, 21st century dreads on him. You know them dudes that be having all the twists and kinks and, the little braids and all they dreads. That's him right there. See him? You're a black man. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. We're talking about world building and creating your own mythology based on pieces of other types of media or mythology. You can do the same thing. You can create your own world. George Lucas did it with the Star Wars. The George Martin dude that created what's it called, Game of Thrones and the House of the Dragon. You take all these different pieces, it's like patches. You're taking patches from different mythologies, movies, books, all this stuff, and putting it together to create your own mythology and become $1 billion franchise. You know what I'm saying? So this is about money too. You know what I'm saying? We talking about money. Here, a lot of people don't know this right here. Hold on. A lot of people don't know this reference. A lot of people don't know who's inspired by the man with no name. They don't know this one. Who you think he inspired in Mortal Kombat? Pay attention to that hat. Now people try to say Aaron Black, but this is before Aaron Black. Because Aaron Black, he's the gunslinger that they came out in like the past, 8 or 7 years. I'm talking about the original inspiration, or inspired character, which was Kung Lao. He also was inspired by this character here, from James Bond movies. Remember Odd Job? Is any of y'all in here 007 fan? So this nigga had a hat that was a blade. His hat had a blade on, like he had a sharp hat, so he can throw it at you and slice your throat. You know what I'm saying? That's where Kung Lao got his, his bladed hat. You know what I'm saying? He be using it to cut niggas in half. It's wild. Mortal Kombat can get very it can get very chaotic. It can be a blood fest. You know what I'm saying? It can be a shitstorm if you play it right. So you got James Bond. A lot of people don't know this either. Let me show you something. So this movie, Dr. No, inspired this movie, Enter the Dragon. And this movie inspired Mortal Kombat. How, you might ask? Well, you got your Liu Kang, your Shang Tsung. Here, I'll just pull this up. You got your Liu Kang, Shang Tsung. I wouldn't say Jax, because Jax is more of an army guy, not this. Well, I mean, he's a black dude, I guess. You just throw a black dude in. They did Jim Kelly wrong in that movie, by the way. I guess you got your Johnny Cage. You know what I'm saying? And they all go to this island to fight in this tournament. Huh? Kumite. Tournament, Kumite, right? And Shang Tsung, you know what I'm saying? He's like the main fucking bad guy in Mortal Kombat. You got this Karayuki Tagawa. He is Shang Tsung. You know what I'm saying? He is Shang Tsung at this point. And I know he makes big money going all around the world at these Comic-Con conventions. And he's on these panels. They love this is he's the quintessential Shang Tsung. So with every rendition of him, he has his own island where Mortal Kombat is held. You know what I'm saying? Just like what's his name? Han from Enter the Dragon. And he steals souls like Lopan from Big Trouble Little China. See, Shang Tsung's story is that, he was cursed. So in order for him to stay alive, he has to take the souls of people to stay alive. He'll die if he doesn't have souls. So that's his curse. So it's like a tragedy. He's an evil person, but he is also a tragic villain. It's like he'll die if you don't take your soul. He needs souls. He feeds on souls. Your soul is mine, head ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shit, this is fire right here. Your soul is mine. You know what I'm saying? You got the young Shang Tsung, you got the old Shang Tsung, you know what I mean? Here's the actor. And they finally use his this actor's voice and likeness for, Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 11, which came out in 2019. So you got this whole mythology. You got this sorcerer who has this curse. He can only live off souls. You know what I mean? And then you got shit like this where it really gives depth to the Mortal Kombat mythos. You got this motherfucker right here, Ermac. So Ermac is a very interesting how he came into Mortal Kombat. So in Mortal Kombat, the first game, there was this feature in the programming menu called error macro. So like when you had the arcade, this is back in the 90s. I'm an arcade kid. I'd rather play these games, in the arcade. This is a time where this was before Xbox Live, where you sit here cussing and throwing racial slurs at people on Xbox Live with your little headset. Back in 90s and 80s, it was the arcade. So you had to go to the mall, the skating rink. They would have the arcade in different restaurants and stores and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They kind of treated it like a vending machine, like it was extra money. Like people would always come in there and put quarters and shit in there to play the game. But back then it was arcades. So that was more of a social aspect of video games that is kind of lost now because everybody's fucking online now. You know what I'm saying? But in this game, the first one, there was a counter in the audits called Ermax. And somebody thought that was a character in the game because you have Reptile, because Reptile is the first secret character in Mortal Kombat. So people thought, okay, Ermac must be a character, but he's not. Ermac is some sort of counter for some sort of system thing within the Mortal Kombat game. So they created a rumor that there was a red ninja in Mortal Kombat. It was a rumor. And then when the creators of the game caught wind of the rumor, they turned the rumor into a reality. So now we have Ermac, the Red Ninja. Think he premiered in Mortal Kombat or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So now you have Ermac. But then what they did with Ermac was he becomes Legion. So if you're familiar with Christianity, there's this whole story about Legion. I am many, you are but one. So Ermac is a creation of souls fused together as one thing. So I'm thinking it's maybe like 1,000 souls fused into one being. So he's a collection of all souls into one thing. So he's basically Legion from the Bible. He's like 1,000 spirits fused into one, or 1,000 warriors fused into one. Ill shit. Because it makes you think that, what if that's you? Because you think you're one thing, but what if you are 1,000 things put together? It makes me think about, all the genetic material you have inherited from, ancestors, your great grandma, your great grandpa, your papa, you know what I'm saying? Your dad, your mom, all these different genetic materials all fused together to create who you are, at least on a physical level. So this mythology is in Mortal Kombat. And he does all types of telekinetic slams and tear your body apart with telekinesis. It's awesome. Fucking rad, dude. You can tell how much I love this game. I know most of this mythology, you know what I mean? See, they even got the little action figures where they tear his arm off and shit. It's crazy. It's L. Classic suit, classic uniform or skin. Then they made him this hooded figure that floats on the ground. So, I like this skin. But these are some of the things that are in the Mortal Kombat mythology. And I guess another reason why I'm excited about this shit is because when I was younger, I would come up with my own worlds. So for those of you that are into the occult, that's top tier activity right there. Top tier. You're creating your own story, your own mythology. And these motherfuckers make billions of dollars off of this stuff. So then you got my main man Jax, you know what I'm saying, towering over everybody in the game, maybe except Shao Kahn. You got the metal arms, you got the guns, you know what I'm saying? He's Sonya Blade's superior officer in the special forces, military unit that they got. Who you think he was inspired from? Let's go back to Predator. What's one of the most is one of like we already told you that the cyber ninjas of Mortal Kombat were inspired by the Predator. But another thing about this movie is who it inspired next. So this is basically Jax right here. This is Jax. This is where they get Jax from. Because in the movie, what happens? He get his arm snatched off by the Predator or shot off by the Predator. So what happens with Jax in Mortal Kombat? So instead of one arm, he loses both of them, and then he gets, cybernetic arms placed on him. Matter of fact, they give him the Carl Weathers skin. So skin is like the uniform or the look of a Mortal Kombat character. So a Mortal, like especially in like games that came out in like the past 10 years, you have what's called a skin. So they can change the skin of the Mortal Kombat character. So you have the Jax as his regular self, and then you can give him a Carl Weathers skin. This is who he's based off of. So not only does Predator inspire the cyber ninjas, they inspire Jax, who's like the only black character that people care about in the game. Maybe Cyrex, like I said, Cyrex is black too. He's the main black guy, the token black guy of Mortal Kombat. Here's a newer rendition of him. Look like somebody I know, you know what I'm saying? Somebody from my hood, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? He one of those drill sergeant type of niggas, you know what I'm saying? army guys. You won't catch him without his cigar. He loves those cigars. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like you're building your mythology off of this. You know what I mean? Said LOL. What's going on, self-detached? What's going on? So Ermac is genetic alchemy. I would even go further than genetic. It's them putting souls together. Now I don't know if I think Quan Chi in the game is supposed to be the creator of Ermac. Could be Shao Kahn. It depends on what game because they like changing. Another thing about Mortal Kombat is they'll retcon a lot of shit. They'll say in this game, oh, he did this. And then the next game, nah, he didn't do that. It was actually this guy. So they do that a lot in Mortal Kombat. There's another Jack's appreciation pick right here. He be knocking niggas the fuck out in the game with them steel arms, by the way. Laying them down. Yeah, so basically they take, even with the movie Rocky, they take Apollo Creed, who's Carl Weathers, probably his famous role, and they combine it with Carl Weathers, as what's his name, Dylan, in Predator, and they combine it to make Jax. That's how they make characters. So what's stopping you from creating your own mythology? You know what I'm saying? And then for those of you that are occultists, that you watch my channel and get some quality information and knowledge from me, you got your Quan Chi. He a necromancer. He deals with death. He deals with the dead. He raises the dead from the grave and controls them. He's the necromancer of Mortal Kombat. Well, Shang Tsung does the same thing too. And when they get together, you know what it's called when Quan Chi and Shang Tsung get together and do some hood rat shit? Deadly Alliance. The Deadly fucking Alliance. These two niggas killed Liu Kang. Because Liu Kang is basically the champion and the main character of Mortal Kombat. But when you get to game 5, Deadly Alliance, these two suckers sit here and plot to kill Liu Kang. They snap his neck in the cinematic before you even play the game. They snap Liu Kang's neck. How are we going to play Mortal Kombat with no Liu Kang? That's Bruce Lee. You're going to snap Bruce Lee neck. But they did it. That's a Deadly Alliance right there. When these two niggas get together, mayhem, chaos, killing, death, control, power. Nasty nigga, man. You ever seen two like niggas like you never seen them interact, but when you get these two nasty niggas in the room, they just plot with some nasty, just vicious shit. Deadly Alliance. They killed Liu Kang. Damn. But then, and there's a lot of different franchises out here that got inspired by Star Wars. So what in Star Wars inspired Mortal Kombat, right? Well, if you look at Darth Vader, arguably the most popular Star Wars character, this is where they got Shao Kahn from. And if you thought the Deadly Alliance was a problem, this big ass nigga, this nigga will taunt you to death in a Mortal Kombat game. He'll make fun of you. He'll say it's official. You suck, bitch. He don't say bitch, but you can imagine he would say that. So he's the emperor of Outworld. He was inspired by Darth Vader. So he's the emperor of this parallel realm or universe to Earth. And his whole thing is he wants to invade Earth and conquer it. He's a conqueror of realms. So basically, Mortal Kombat is basically his tournament. Because if he win 10 times in Mortal Kombat, if his warriors win 10 times, he has the right to step into Earth realm and conquer it as his own and infuse it into his realm of Outworld. He's really kind of like a mix of Darth Sidious and Darth Vader because he's like the villain behind the villain. Because Shang Tsung was the first villain, and Shang Tsung, answers to Shao Kahn. This nigga had his nipples and toes out throughout all the games. Well, not in here, but his nipples was definitely out. He was damn near butt ass naked, getting, you know what I'm saying? He be cheating in the games. Hate this nigga because he's the last nigga you fight in Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3. So you got to beat him to beat the game. And he be cheating. He be doing a little charge and the hammer, and that take like triple the damage of a regular fighter. This bitch ass nigga. He's a brute. Got his little, man briefs on and shit. And even using the word Khan, like Genghis Khan, one of the most infamous emperors and conquerors throughout history. They said this nigga birthed like 5,000 kids. That's a lot of fucking. So you got your Genghis Khan. So he's also inspired by Genghis Khan. So now we're going back in history. So this conqueror, you know what I mean? So they even took that and said, well, let's make him a conqueror, but from a world parallel to Earth. So they bring it into history, you know what I mean? I love this shit. I spelled con wrong, my bad. So all this is mixed up into this mythology. This is what I'm talking about. It's layered. You know what I mean? Oh, I love this skin. Oh, that's Shao Kahn right there. You pathetic fools, I've come to take your soul. Shang Tsung learned his black arts from Shao Kahn. Like I'm sitting here saying this shit all excitedly, like you care and shit. You know what I mean? I care about it. Again, I'm a Mortal Kombat fanatic, so you ain't got to be that much of a fan. You can just play the game if you want. Just stick to the fighting. I get into the lore, the mythology, the storyline, and all that shit. You know what I mean? Because again, go back to what I said from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You have this one being of existence, and then he split, or it is split into 6 different realms, and they're all either fighting or aligning with each other to either take over or to protect their realms. You know what I'm saying? You even have elder gods. So there's an elder god in Mortal Kombat called Shinnok. So he's basically the devil in this series. So in his storyline, he actually usurps the throne from Lucifer in hell, and he becomes the new devil. They even accentuate it later in later games by giving him these horns and shit. This little ugly ass motherfucker right here from Mortal Kombat X. So you got an fallen elder god Shinnok. That's what he wants to do to Earth. He wants to turn this shit into a motherfucking hell, into a fucking, you know what I'm saying? You think it's Babylon now? When he come through, it's going to turn into fire and brimstone. No more internet, niggas. Nothing but Shinnok. So they, like I said, they have this whole, this is the elder gods. So I guess they're supposed to be like the Titans. Because again, it's pulling from mythologies from around the world. So these are the, basically kind of like the Titans of Mortal Kombat mythology. So you got Titans, you got Thunder Gods, you got Conquerors. You know what I'm saying? You got cybernetic ninjas. What more do you want? They got vampires and shit. Nitara. Oh, you know what they did in the latest Mortal Kombat game? You know what they did, y'all? You know what they did? Hold on. I'm gonna show you what they did. They did some shit. They did this shit right here. They put Megan Fox in the game. So you even get these, actresses from Hollywood playing characters in Mortal Kombat. And people are criticizing that, she's not a good actress and she sounds kind of flat when she does her lines as this character in the game. You know what I'm saying? Real sexy though. Sexy as hell, but they saying that she can't act. Somebody says because her headphones wasn't on her head. So how the fuck she gonna do good voice acting if the headphones is to the side? You gotta have them, you know what I mean? Can't be doing that's not how they voice act. So maybe it wasn't her that's the problem, but the voice actor director. So everything you ever watched that had voice acting, whether it was cartoon or a voiceover or something like that, there was a voice director, and they're responsible for bringing out the performance of the voice actor so it can be excellent for the production. So I'm thinking the voice director for Mortal Kombat 1 that just came out, a week ago, a week ago, perhaps she didn't push Megan Fox enough to bring out her best. You know what I'm saying? Not just gonna put it on the actress. I'm blaming the voice director. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer's body. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was excited until we got the game and we started hearing, the lackluster voice acting. You ever watch a cartoon and it's like, or some a movie and the one of the voice actors is kind of like, it takes you out of the suspension of disbelief and shit. It's like, who the fuck hired this bitch? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't get a better voice actress for her. But anyway, it's like I said, she's still sexy though. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? So you got a vampire. She's a vampire in this shit. Nitara, one of my favorite characters from Deadly Alliance. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance that came out in 2000. When did Deadly Alliance come out? I think it came out in 05, was it 2000? 2002. I think it was 2002. Yeah, 2002. It's one of my favorite games in the franchise. Yeah. Cool. And for my black beautiful sisters, they got a little something for you. They ain't really do it the way they could have. They got a little something for the sisters. You know what I'm saying? They got a little something. They got a black woman, Tanya. There's a lot of races that try to say, well, she's not black, she's tan, she's light skinned. But even with the first Tanya, she Puerto Rican probably. Hold on, what you say? It would be, yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2009 was Mortal Kombat 9. No. Mortal Kombat 9 came out in 2011. There we go. It would be insane to see Earth fused with Outworld. Imagine the outcome: regular folks becoming martial artists. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a timeline that exists where these two realms are fused together. But just for my beautiful black sisters, I mean, you got, what I mean? Got Tanya. She's Brazilian. She's some sort of melanated. Let's just say that. She's melaninated. And they even make sure, with this new game that just came out a week ago, she's definitely melaninated. She got melanin. They try to make it seem like, oh, she just a toasty white person. No, she's melaninated. Why would they make her that way? There's the voice actor right there. Beautiful women. Beautiful. Melaninated. See, right here, they try to make her like, oh, she ain't, She don't got no melanin. She's, you know what I'm saying? White people love doing that. They love that shit. Clearly, in the very first Tanya appearance, she is melanin. Come on, man. Stop trying to like whitewash stuff. I'm trying to whitewash it all. She's black or Brazilian, one of them. Tell me this ain't black. How is this white or tan? There's nobody in the fucking earth that identifies as a tan person. Stop that bullshit, man. They also, oh yeah, they also got Jackie Briggs, who is Jax Briggs' daughter. So now it's full on black. Like the hairstyle, the locks, yeah. They got Jackie Briggs. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely black. This is Jax's daughter. I'm always looking out for the sisters, you know what I'm saying? Because they say we won't love them enough or protect them and shit. You got Jackie Briggs, Jax's daughter. Come on now. This is his little princess, you know what I mean? And she can fight. She can throw down with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? This is her in her alternate uniform. You know what I'm saying? She can definitely throw down with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your fan edits. You got people that aren't satisfied with the way she looks. So they'll do stuff like this where they'll try to bring in like a new look and shit like that. But this is a fine look. She got the locks, she got the ponytail, you know what I mean? And she got the uniform. She be whipping ass. She be punching niggas in their face, kicking them and shit. Look at her. She in action. Look at her. It's not the love. Need more representation in this game. Need more representation. Look at her strutting. Come on, man. She's sexy, man. I'm choosing her over Megan Fox any day of the week. Any fucking day of the week. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? We black up in here. Hold on. Someone said, what about Shiva and Kentaro? Yeah, they Shokan. So you even, like I said, you got Goro, the forearm brute. You know what I'm saying? You got Kentaro, which is a tiger man with the forearms, and you got Shiva, who I'd smash too. I'm smashing this. Hand jobs, you know the hand jobs of this of Shiva. Come on now. So you got they got different races of entities in Mortal Kombat. So you have the Kentaros, the forearm beasts, entities. I'm smashing this. You ain't gonna hit this, I'll smash it. I'm about to ask you, would you smash it? No, nigga, I am going to smash it. I'm wasting time by asking you if you would smash it. That's time that could be, placed into getting to smashing her. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, her name is inspired by Shiva of Hindu mythology. So now we bringing in the Hindu stuff. You got your Chinese, the Aztec, Japanese. Now you got your Hindu. It's a variation on the spelling, but that's where they got the name from, Shiva, because of the arms. That's why they called her Shiva. So this is her different renditions throughout Mortal Kombat. So you got this rendition of her, which is excellent. Smashing that. You even got a centaur in here. So he's Motaro. He's another race of being in this world. So he's a centaur. He's half horse, half bull, half man. You got that in there. So you hitting it from the back. and she's holding you in, and she could use her upper arms though to kind of like fill on your if you flexible enough, you can, a woman can pull that off. But now that she has 4 sets of arms, nigga, 4 sets of arms, nigga, 4 sets of arms, she can do more stuff in the bedroom. And she got this move where she jumps high in the air and then stomps you like 3 times and shit. That's Shiva for your ass, boo. But this is Mortal Kombat. You got the Hindu stuff in here now. You got it all. Combat time, you know what I'm saying? To go back to Sonya Blade, combat time. But for going back to you occultists, oh, you want to talk about chaos beings and chaos and anarchy and all that? Oh, you don't know this nigga right here. You need to get to know him. You better get to know him if you into Mortal Kombat, or excuse me, if you're into chaos magic. You better get into this guy. Oh, you better start fucking with this nigga. Ooh, Havoc, Chaos. He's the cleric of chaos. He's from the chaos realm in the original games. So all he does is go to different realms of existence and causes fucking chaos there. Especially if you live in a world where it's overruled by governments and rules and shit. Like, he don't like that shit. His main goal is to come to your world and cause nothing but fucking anarchy. A fucking savage if there ever was one. Havoc. That's all he do. He hates order. He hates government. He hates kings and queens. He wants equality for. He's kind of like a fucking freedom fighter in a sense too, especially this version of him. So for you chaos beings out there, you even got a chaos being in Mortal Kombat. You got the chaos. You got him. He's in here. Havoc, nigga. Let me just show you this nigga is fighting. He even like this new game that just came out. This nigga will rip his own arm off and use it as a fucking weapon. He will break his whole head off and hit you with like a projectile. Here, let me show you. You don't believe me. You look like you in disbelief. Let me show you this ill nigga. It's like they took body horror to the next level with this nigga, man. He will hurt himself to fuck you up. How do you reason with him? There's no reasoning. He will break his head off and hit you with his own fucking head and grow his head back. You can tell I'm excited right now. You can tell. You can tell. Hold on. Look at this nigga. Look. This is what he do. He break his fucking neck. He'll bend his body. He'll turn. You don't believe me, man. Hold on. Is it in this one? That's Ashura. She's like the battle angel, like the seraph of Mortal Kombat. She was a demon, and the more she kills other demons with that sword, the sword, the more purified she becomes. So for any of y'all looking for a character that's all about redemption, there you go. Just to give you a little tidbit about that. What the fuck is he? Here we go. He'll rip his fucking arm off and bash you in your fucking shit with it, man. Look at this nigga. Look at him. He don't give a fuck. That's how he fight. How do you fight somebody that will cause harm to themselves just to harm you? Look at him. He spit blood on niggas. Like fuck you. So I like the anime movies they have. I watched a few of them. Oh, okay, yeah. So it be on HBO Max or in other places that I'm not going to say here on this video. So for my chaos niggas, you got Havoc, bro. Look how he bend his body, like he twists his neck. How he's the master contortionist out here. Here, let me show. I think I'm playing with you, bro. It has begun. I'm gonna show it to you. It's off topic, but I just gotta show it to you. It wouldn't be a Mortal Kombat video without it. Like, just look at the way this nigga fights. Hey, we're playing this guy again. Look at him. His guts is all hanging out. His intestines is hanging out. Change the character. Look at this dude. All right, fuck it. I'll play Havoc a little bit more. He busts shit out. Look at him. The embodiment of ill. Okay, I'll do it. If ill was a person. You got Jax doing back breaks. Look how he twists his torso. He twists his whole fucking torso to do that shit. I'll do it next. I'm trying to see where he take his head off and he hit you with something. Where's that move at? That's some pretty good damage, Garrett. Yeah, there we go. He takes his whole fucking head off. Look. All right, I'm done trying to get you to look. If you ain't looking, fuck you. You know you'd be excited for something and niggas ain't as excited as you and you get mad. It's all right. They even got a Sandman. Gears. He's a Sandman. The Sands of Time, you know what I'm saying? That type of archetype. He like he can control time. You know what I mean? All these movies talking about time travel and fucking multiverses and going back in time to change what Thanos did. Like this is him. You got that in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat got everything you need. You ain't even got to go outside of it. That's the type of mythology that I like. It has everything. So if you can create a mythology to that degree, my nigga, you deserve all the money in the world because you created a whole new type of way to interpret the world. You can say that the one being that then was divided into the realms, you're trying to get back to that one being. So you got characters who that's what they want. They want to combine the realms again to create to so it can be the one being again. But a lot of those characters are, treated as villains. You could even say like Shao Kahn, the conqueror, like he wants to do that. But yeah, man, where I'm at, I'm almost at 90 minutes into this shit. But the key takeaway from this video is simply put, you can create your own mythology if you have the right archetypes, you have the right motifs, you know what I'm saying? Elements and all that shit. You put it all together and you got yourself your own mythology. You don't have to follow Christian mythology. You don't have to follow Chinese, Japanese, Aztec, Islam. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to follow those mythology. You can create your own. Especially if you out here talking chaos, you should be able to create your own fucking world, your own fucking religion. Why are you following the religion of other people? 8 billion people, that's 8 billion. That's the potential of 8 billion different fucking mythologies. Long as you got the principles intact, you good. And you know this nigga, he's basically the franchise boy of the franchise. Oh, my bad, I ain't even mentioned this guy. People will come for me in the comments if I don't mention Scorpion. Get over here. He's the most popular nigga in the game. Your grandma probably knows Scorpion. What was that game, baby, with the yellow ninja? What he say? Get over here. That now that's my shit. You know what I mean? Everybody knows Scorpion. And his story is, like I said, he's part of this ninja clan where he gets killed by his rival Sub-Zero. So that's the other poster boy of Mortal Kombat. Let me put them together on the screen here for you. They're always at odds. In recent games, they've kind of become like, settle their differences. But this new game is they actually make them actual brothers. So they got the same mom and dad and shit in this new game. But yeah, Scorpion, he dies and then he comes. So he's like the first character from hell. That's why he always have fire and shit. Because he's a hell spawned ghost. He's back from hell to get revenge on Sub-Zero for killing him. And I tell you this, they don't make no movie or TV show without putting these two niggas in a fight. So if you plan on making a Mortal Kombat movie, show, or cartoon, if you don't make the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight at some point, motherfuckers is going to get mad at you online. You're going to get a lot of hate and a lot of trolling and then when all those, and what have you. You know what I mean? Scorpion and Sub-Zero and shit. Fire and ice. Pay the fucking price. Oh, and this nigga, no, well, hold on, the original Sub-Zero, because his brother also becomes Sub-Zero. So guess who the original Sub-Zero becomes? And then I'm gonna be done with this live because I think I went on a little bit too long. So they even tell you in this picture. So the original Sub-Zero becomes Noob Saibot. And let me tell you how ill his creation is. Is basically the two creators of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon and John Tobias. So they took both of their last names and turned them backwards to create this nigga's name. Noob Boon Saibot Tobias. And by the way, Mortal Kombat was created by Latinos. So because Ed Boon and John Tobias are Spanish, they're Hispanic. So got a couple of Latinos came up with Mortal Kombat. But like I say, you got Noob Saibot. He's like the Grim Reaper of Mortal Kombat. He's like a Grim Reaper character. See, got the bones hanging from his vest and shit, and he got the sickle of death. And he's kind of like Scorpion too in that sense. Like he went to hell, and now he's like a hell spawned revenant, but he's not fire. It's just darkness and shadows and shit. So he's definitely one of the most favorited characters in Mortal Kombat. He's the Grim Reaper, basically. So you even got the trope of the Grim Reaper in Mortal Kombat mythology. Yes, they got that. They got the Grim Reaper in this motherfucker. He will come for you when it's time to die. He gonna show up. And he always carry around his shadow self, so he's in tune with his shadow self. Do you always see him and his shadow? So he uses his shadow to attack you. He uses his shadow. People, what I'm saying, you get the sugar daddy out here. You got too much wax. Clean it out. He uses his own shadow to fuck you up. All right, I'm done, man. Yeah, I could be over here for hours. But again, the takeaway: create your own mythology, man. I used to do it as a kid too. I had my own stories. I had my own myths. Let you your mind go. You know what I'm saying? Stop falling into these pre-established mythologies. Now, I'm not saying you can't love Mortal Kombat or any type of mythology or video game story or whatever. I'm just saying you have the potential to come up with your own shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, my name is Alakad with this Mortal Kombat occult spiritual breakdown or metaphysical breakdown. Again, you want to make sure that you get my book. Here, going back here. Hold on. Make sure you get the book. You know what I'm saying? Let me put it on the bottom of the screen here. Hold on. If you haven't already copped it, www.holographer.com/the-book. You want to donate? $Alex64, Cashapp, Patreon. So let me talk about the Patreon, because that's where I put all my real, stuff that I don't want to make public. It's like, you know how I do it. There's a store for all the regular niggas, but there's the back of the store. In the back, we got all the ill shit in the back. So this is the Patreon. It's just the back of the store. You know what I'm saying? We talking about initiates of the flame. This video I took down from my YouTube is on here. We got all that omnimancy, where you don't just deal with card readings or fucking divination with snakeskin. No, we read everything. We read omens everywhere. Remember this mitochondria weave midichlorian Eve? It's available on my Patreon. We discuss Obia, Obai. We discussed that. You know what I'm saying? Got my AIT Alchemy of the Isis thesis. So if you're into the whole balls of fire Isis thesis, I got course on that. Make sure you sign yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is Alakad. Mortal Kombat 1 just came out. Don't you bother me when I'm playing my damn game. It's in our blood. You know what I'm saying? There's always something worth fighting for. Peace. Greetings, folks. This is Alakad. Had to cut into the video to let you know that this book here, Wholography, now it's on Kindle, Amazon Kindle. So if you have the Kindle service, you can definitely check it out. There's even a longer sample for you to read, where you can really get into if you really want to know about my book or not. For me, it's more about getting the book out there rather than trying to make a sale exclusively. So but if you are one of those scholars where you want the book, you want to do some highlighting and some annotating, and you really want to tear it apart, which that's what I really want you to do, then definitely go to my website, holographer.com/the-book. You know what I'm saying? And do it that way. Either way is cool with me. And now back to the video.